Hello, this is Darren.
And this is Paige.
And this is
Where's the Lemonade?
Where we talk about what happens when life throws you lemons.
Make some lemonade?
Maybe. Some weeks it's lemon squares.
Yeah, some weeks it's just lemons.
Yeah. On today's episode,
why is Mother's Day so hard?
I have no idea, but it is. Okay, well, today we were going to talk about, what were we going to talk about?
We were going to talk about people that have been married for a long time, what their tips and tricks are and secrets to a lasting relationship.
Not what therapists say.
No, what actual
people, real people.
Yes.
So, I guess, are therapists real people?
They are. They're actually really great people.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
But we changed it this morning when you were in the shower.
We did. We decided. I had just been reading so much about Mother's Day and talking to friends and family. Anyway, it's a hard day, and we've talked about this before on our podcast.
This is our 4th episode
Is
about Mother's Day.
Is it really?
It is.
That's funny. I wonder if we're saying. I haven't gone back and even looked at. You think we're saying the same exact?
I don't know. No one ever re-listens anyway. So we're going to say the same thing we said last time. So just turn on the last episode. No, we have some new stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. So let's just get right into it. Mother's Day is supposed to be amazing, right?
Who said so?
I don't know. Some lady that made it up.
Well, the lady that made it up was a nurse back in World War I.
Yes.
Right? And she was actually quite upset that it got commercialized. While she was still alive, it was commercialized.
Yeah, she did it. Didn't she do it to honor her mother and then It
was actually a day of service.
Right. But it was in tribute to her mother to begin with, I believe.
Right. It was to show gratitude towards your mother by serving other people.
Right.
It is not that today.
No, it has completely gotten commercialized. I always say this day and Valentine's Day, I always say Hallmark and the florist got together and said, let's make up these days. And because it's a huge day for them, right? I mean,
it is a huge day. And also a day we have a lot of friends that dread Mother's Day.
I can see why.
Both men and women.
Yes. I can see why for both. So, yeah. So all you mothers that are listening, were your expectations met? Did you manage them? Were you completely disappointed?
Make sure you comment. We want to hear your comments on this one.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, in our church on Mother's Day, we have a lay ministry. So members of the church actually give the sermons every Sunday. And some friends of ours, the husband was giving the sermon, one of the 3 sermons on Mother's Day. And it was hilarious. The wife said, I have to give you a list of things you can and cannot talk about on Mother's Day.
It's true. She was like, you definitely can't glamorize motherhood. You can't make people, this is what a mother should be because that's going to make people feel bad. And he was like, wait, what? Why can't I talk about things? Like, what's wrong with you women? Like, yes, we're crazy. We overthink everything. But it was funny because, yeah, he did a great job on his talk, but he ended up mentioning, she goes, I want to read your talk before you give it. And he ended up doing it so late into the middle of the night, she didn't get to read it. And he started off his talk and mentioned abortion, and her heart completely stopped. She was like, I didn't think I needed to put that on the list. I didn't think you were going to. But it was a quick little reference, and it was very nice. He did a great job on his talk.
He did an absolute great job.
He did. But it was just so funny because he was like, what are you talking about?
And yeah, you should have seen her face. Just sheer panic, right?
Yeah. And
so why is it? And we have some friends that just refuse to even go to church on that day.
Yeah, I've actually known several people that just, they don't want to go and hear these talks about, oh, my mom was this and that and the most perfect this and the most perfect that and the most kind and the sweet. And you're sitting there going, I mean, I'm good, but I'm not that good. And man, I could be so much better and I should be better. It's just it's almost like a guilt-ridden thing.
Well, and that's interesting because we read on some of the Facebook groups about blended families and about Mother's Day, where this one woman was upset because her husband didn't say how great she was, how great of a mother she was on Facebook for everyone to hear.
Yes, she approached him and said, "Could you please post about me on Mother's Day?" And he was very upset that she asked him to do that. And it caused a huge fight. He was actually pretty mean to her, according to her. That was how she
I'm
felt.
sure he was.
That was her perspective, that he was mean. And it was interesting. A lot of people were like, why do you need that kind of validation, right? Why do you need the public display? And maybe that's her love language. I don't know.
Well, I just think it's interesting because it's almost the opposite of, there are people like in a church congregation, when someone's talking about how great their mother is, then they feel bad. And if you don't say something great on Facebook, then your wife feels bad. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's hard to figure out. A trap? I don't know.
It's not a trap, but
It's a confusing trail.
Yeah. So why didn't you post about me on Mother's Day?
Because I don't believe in that.
Believe in what?
In Facebook.
Oh, what? Oh, really? Really? Let's look at your phone and see how much time you spend on Facebook, since you don't believe in it.
I do not believe in Facebook. Now, you know me. I'm not one to glamorize our lives on Facebook.
Well, glamorize is one thing.
I don't post.
You don't post that often. And I agree. Like, I don't typically post about you like, oh, I love Darren so much. Like, if I love you, I tell you.
Yeah, why would I need to tell the world? Why tell you?
But I mean, I don't know. Occasionally I post things about the family, and yeah, we're not huge posters, we're not huge Facebookers,
but why do you think there's so much angst around Mother's Day? Because there seems to be, I mean, the blended family groups, they're full of just nightmarish horror stories about Mother's Day.
It was blowing up. You know what? I think we kind of in our head, and I certainly am not speaking for all women or all mothers. This is kind of me and maybe a few people that I've talked to.
A few hundred other people.
Yeah. But I think we build up this day as a kind of reward for the other 364, right? Like today is the day I'm getting rewarded and accolades are coming my way for all the hard work I've put into this family and being a mom, and right. And so we're like, okay, bring it on. And maybe we have built it up into this blissful fantasy of what is going to happen on this day. And when it falls short of our fantasy and reality hits, it's tricky. And then you throw in the complication of a blended family, and it's even more tricky. So there you go. There's your, is that a good answer?
Yeah, I guess it is an answer. I don't know. I remember growing up, I was oblivious to Mother's Day. My dad would just take us shopping and we get mom something we thought she wanted, and that was it. But I also remember at church that they celebrated motherhood by giving out awards.
Hey, I won a couple of those awards.
Yeah, for youngest mother.
Yeah.
Mother with the most children.
Yep.
Oldest new mother. Was like
oldest new. No,
yeah,
not oldest.
They did.
No, no, I don't believe it.
Oldest new
no
mother.
No one wants that. Oldest new mother. Like someone wants to. No one wants.
Well, they had their first
that.
baby when they were 40.
I know. No one wants to be recognized for that.
Well, they were.
Like,
and then oldest mother, which meant grandmother, right?
Yeah.
Who's the oldest mother around?
I remember when I had Amanda, I won. They were giving those awards at church. That was just so funny because that would just be so canceled today. But I won for newest mother because she was a week old, and I won for youngest mother because I was 19. Woohoo!
Oh, you're the
award for that. Should I be getting an award for that? I'm not sure.
You were married.
Of course I was, but so funny.
I think it's interesting because back then it was like a competition.
I know. Come on. Well, that's one of the reasons that I wanted to go to church. So she was only, like I said, a week old. And I'm like, I gotta go. I'm going to win these awards.
So is it still feel like a competition, Mother's Day?
No, for me. No, not at all.
Well, what about in a blended family? Do my kids love me more? or their bio mom more.
Oh, I hope they. I mean, to me, there is that should never be put on the kids. Never. That should. Yeah,
No,
I mean,
but is it ever in your head?
I hope no. It's not in my head. Do they love me more than they love their bio mom? Never. Never. That is their mom. That is their mom. I am their bonus parent. I am not their mom.
Yeah, but it's got to go through your head a little bit, maybe, as the bio mom, and maybe your kids get their stepmom something for Mother's Day too, and that may be hard.
Yeah, and if to me, if your kids want to get their stepmom something, I think that's fantastic. In fact, one of the posts that I read, she was the stepmom, and her stepkids were at their bio mom's house, and she said, I didn't get a text or a gift or a call from my stepkids. They're littler. They were like 11 and 14 or something, 11 and 13. But she got a text from their mom that said, thank you so much for loving my children and being a part of their life. And I went, oh, that's amazing. And she just said that was the most amazing thing she could have gotten that day. So I really appreciate that lady was so mature and can see the blessing that this stepmom is in her kids' lives. I mean, what a wonderful thing to do. And this lady was really touched.
Oh, that's pretty incredible. So what's another reason why Mother's Day is tough? When you said something about it's not always just celebrating about you. You may be celebrating your own mom.
Yeah, you may be, if you live in area where your mom is close, you and your siblings may be always going to her house and celebrating her, and you may feel that you're not getting the recognition. You're still running around chasing your kids, whatever. But maybe that's tough. Another reason why it might be tough is if you've had a child die, or if your mom has died, if you've had someone, right, either your mom or a child has passed, that may be very difficult to have that day. If you're not a mom and you're a woman and you've tried to become that would be I know I had friends that went through this. They didn't go to church on Mother's Day because they had been trying to have a baby for so long. It was very, very hard.
So this sounds like a horrible holiday. I'm just saying.
It's like a minefield.
It's a minefield of emotions.
And
then who takes the brunt of it, typically?
You think the
I
dads
think the dads do. Because there's expectations, and the dads are supposed to help meet those expectations.
Absolutely. I firmly believe, especially if you have kids at home, that, and I believe this for Father's Day too, for Mother's Day and Father's Day, that the other person should be leading and guiding them and directing, right? Like, hey, they need that, they need that encouragement. And they need to be taught that you do need to treat your mom or your dad special on this day.
It's their special day.
Yes, it's their special day. So yes, they need some parental guidance and push a little bit.
A lot of it. Okay, so Paige did some research. Our research
guru.
Our research
department
of one, and found 2 articles. So you get 2 articles this week mostly to help, I guess, the husbands, the fathers.
No, it's for both. It's what can we do to help the day be happy, and this is for the moms and women, how to maneuver this day, and it's also some tips.
Well, it's also to help the men too,
yes.
right?
Yep.
All right, what's the first tip that they gave? And we actually did this year for the first time. It was fun.
Plan a group event. So we kind of already talked about a little bit. You may spend the day with your family, with your mom and your siblings, and that might be really fun. This year we spent it with some friends. We had friends over.
And the men handled everything.
Yes. Well.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we coordinated everything.
Yes. But, yeah, it helps.
And we did all the cooking or buying.
Yes.
So.
Yes. It helps take the focus off of just you. If you want that. You may not want to be in a group setting. I know people that for Mother's Day, all they want to do is stay in their room and read a book and go out for dinner. Like, this is just their day to relax and not have the responsibilities of motherhood. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And in fact, you wanted a little break We didn't get together until later, well, early evening. So you had the afternoon to do what you wanted to do. And you said, hey, Mother's Day, I'm taking a 2-hour Mother's Day nap.
Yep.
Did that happen?
It didn't, because I've got too many children, and they called
They kept calling.
And you know what? I can always take a nap. And I felt, it made me feel really good that I heard from all the kids that day. And that it made me feel really good.
Yeah, when you have 10 kids.
Yes, that made me feel good. So I will not ever be upset for not getting to nap because my kids called. So no, that's fine. So with the group event, I loved the group event. I loved getting together with our friends. I thought it was fun. We had a fantastic time. Takes all the, you don't have so much pressure because you share the responsibilities of the meal with other people, and
it was planned.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes we go to the TV show The Middle. Oh, he's just going to do something the night before and nothing's planned. And with this, we knew it was planned. We already talked. We knew what was coming.
right.
So it also forced my hand to make sure I was coordinating with other people
Yeah.
to get things done. So it worked out good.
So yeah, so figure out what's best for your situation. If you wanted to, because I definitely know there's people yesterday that just were like, I wouldn't want to get together with friends or a group. This is the day that I'm going to lay in bed and read a book. You know what I mean? So figure out what's best for you and do that.
Okay, the next one. Be specific with gift giving.
Or risk getting a toaster.
Well, it's really gift.
Are you?
You had a list. You had a list.
Are you willing to take that risk, ladies, and get a toaster or a vacuum? Like, if that's the risk you're willing to take, then keep your mouth shut. But if you don't, if you want, so there are some men that are great at gift giving. They plan creative ways in advance that they're going to do this great thing. Most men are not like that.
You are so sexist.
It's true. Most men are not the creative, let's plan. Most men are not. So let's just be realistic. So I say be bold. Be bold. Don't drop hints that you're hoping he's going to decipher.
You dropped a couple hints.
I'm usually more bold than just dropping hints.
You are. And well, it's so bold that you have an Amazon list.
I have an Amazon. I don't feel like that's bold. I feel like that's smart.
And you just told the kids, you say, hey, because they would call me and ask me,
right.
Hey, what should I get Paige for Mother's Day? And I said, go look at her Amazon list.
Yep, I keep my list up to date.
These are things that she's looking at that she would like.
Yeah. The things that I'm like, these are really cute. I don't need, I don't have to buy it for myself.
Otherwise, you end up with candles.
That's right. I haven't gotten candles in a while. I used to end up with a lot of candles.
Maybe you need some more candles.
I think we're still good. I think for about another 10 years we'll be good.
Yeah.
But I say be specific. Yeah, make an Amazon list. Okay, now, if money is an issue, which it has been in my life before for Mother's Day, let them know that you want a card. You want them to just make you a card. That you want them to write you a letter. Or maybe you just want a few hours to yourself. Maybe you say, hey, I just want to, pick a movie to watch, a movie that I want to watch. Let them know that you want a nice breakfast made for you. Like, just get what you are expecting out there, and not in a bratty way, right? It doesn't.
That could go double-sided.
Do not be in a bratty way. Don't be like, well, this is what's going to happen.
This is my expectations for Mother's Day with everything spelled out. And the checklist next to it that you're checking during the day. That would be a disaster.
Do not do that. Do not do it in a bratty way, in a very kind, I'm helping you out kind of way, so that we can all be happy on this day, right? That's how I'm going to help us all out so that there's no issues. Let's work on this together. It would be very nice. And I said that to you. I said, I would like French toast for breakfast, right? I came to you and said that.
Yep.
I was like, I would really like you to make me French toast. And
crispy French toast.
I got to tell everybody that's listening to this. Darren made next level French toast.
I studied for like 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, whatever.
I did.
2 or 3 hours?
Yes, I was up at 6 a.m. looking and comparing recipes and trying different things out.
Okay. Well, it paid off because he took Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal and smashed it all up and did French bread and dipped that in the egg and the milk, and then you dip that in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
And then I baked it.
Baked it in the oven. unbelievable. Best French toast ever. But I had come
We'll
to you.
include the French toast recipe on the blog. Check it out.
Yes. But I had come to you and I said, I would like French toast for breakfast. Is that okay?
I asked you, what do you want for breakfast?
And I said, is that okay? Like, I wasn't a brat. I wasn't like, I want French toast. Like, so, but I think that if you are specific and kind, the day can go much better. Would you agree?
Well, and set expectations.
Yes. Yes.
But there's always a double-edged sword, right?
Why?
Well, because you can come across bratty.
But you don't have to.
No, but you can. I'm just saying, if your husband might be sensitive because he screwed up so many Mother's Days before.
And that's exactly why you are going to go to him and say, we don't want
another disaster.
We don't want another
last year.
disaster. Let's work on this together. That's what I'm saying. This is let's help each other out here. I think this is so funny because you think that it is bratty for people to come and say, this is the day that I'm expecting.
No, I don't. I just think it can come across that way.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I appreciate you telling me what to do.
Because I think that is the best way to manage the day.
You have to have a good communication channel established already.
And I think that it's great if you go to your husband and say, tomorrow on Mother's Day...
That's too late.
I would... No. I would like to have 2 hours to myself to go in my room and read a book. It's not too late to say that.
It might be if I already planned a big trip on that day to go look at flowers somewhere or to go
you should have asked your wife.
I think
when
that's
you're
it.
Planning.
I think you husbands, you ask your wife.
Yeah.
Ask her, hey, what would you like to do on Mother's Day?
Exactly.
Instead of her showing up and saying, these are my expectations for Mother's Day this year.
Well, but what if he doesn't ask?
If
he doesn't ask, then she should approach him.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. That's going to be a tough one for a lot of people.
I don't think so. I think that people can handle it just fine. I think people got this. They got it.
All right, everyone email Paige if you're having a rough time with that one. Another thing that you need to do, this is especially for the dads, remember the kids. Especially in blended families, you've got two sets of kids that you're probably dealing with. Your own kids and your stepkids, and you have your spouse. And if your ex-spouse hasn't remarried, you also have your ex-spouse as well. That you want to make sure that they have a good Mother's Day and that your kids, your biological kids, are showing some gratitude towards their mother.
Yes, that is true. But remember the kids is more about the kids did not choose in their life. They did not ask to have a mother and a stepmother in their life. They did not ask for this. These were decisions being made by adults around them that they had to adjust to. So don't make them choose. Don't make this a harder day. It's already a hard day for them if they've got, I'm spending the day with my mom, but I really love my stepmom, but I don't know how much love to show her because I don't want to hurt my mom, right? Like it's a tricky day for them already in a blended family. Well,
and we came up with a stepmother's day the week after Mother's Day, which we've had, I would say probably 70, 80% of the time.
Yeah.
Right. So, the following Sunday, we have Stepmom's Day, right? So my kids that have been at their mom's on Mother's Day can now celebrate their stepmom or bonus mom, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And it's fun.
So when the kids are still at home, let them focus on their mom for this day. If she's in their lives, right? I mean, there's obviously other situations. But if their mom is in their life and they're with her that day, which in my book, they always should be with their mom on Mother's Day. Yeah. And the kids are always with us, right? For you on Father's Day. Let them focus on their mom and pick another day to let them focus on the stepmom. Just don't make the kids
feel like they have to choose. That's not a choice.
That's not a choice. Yeah, don't make that. That's rotten for the kids. So don't do that.
Okay, the next one is curb expectations. This is for
low.
This is for you. Quit putting me on a pedestal. I just can't sit there all the time.
Put your expectations way down, people. If you are hoping that your children or your husband are going to make some grand gesture to prove that they love you more than any other human being on the planet, that might be unrealistic and even unreasonable. This is still just a day. They love you. You know, they probably show you they love you throughout the year. Set your expectations low and reasonable, and be pleasantly surprised if they get exceeded. And this goes back to letting some of your needs known before the day.
This goes back to that whole commercialization. It used to be good enough just to get flowers. But that's not the case anymore. Everything's been kind of exaggerated. Don't you think?
I don't know.
Maybe that's why that lady doesn't like Mother's Day anymore, the one that created it. Well, she's dead now. But
No, she didn't like it because it
got commercialized.
It got commercialized. For her, it was about a day of service.
Right.
And it turned out from a day of service to a day of you have to buy your mom flowers and chocolates and a present.
Well, it should be a celebration, and it doesn't seem like a celebration anymore.
So what does that look like to you? So you say it looks like it should be a celebration. What should we be celebrating? What does that look like?
We should be celebrating our mothers.
Okay, and how do you do that?
By telling them how much you like them and love them and how much you appreciate them. If that's just a card and flowers, shouldn't that be okay?
I think that is okay for most people, isn't it?
I don't know.
You think that most people expect more than that?
Oh, yeah, I do, especially when you read all of the Facebook groups on this and how many of our friends are like just disappointed in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
It is. It is. But what are you going to do? Like I said, so I think the best thing to do is to have a reasonable conversation.
And curb your expectations.
And, you know, hopefully they will be exceeded. How about that? Hopefully they will be exceeded.
All right, the last one that we found was don't overthink it. What in the world? How is this different than curb your expectations?
It's Mother's Day is a special occasion, but it is not an end-all be-all day. So that's kind of what that is. If things don't work out exactly as you had hoped, don't assume that it's because you're a terrible mom. And obviously you raised your family to be, to not appreciate you, and you've done a horrible job. Like, that's what it means by don't overthink it.
I gotcha.
So resist the urge to sit in self-pity and just remind yourself that your kids love you and you love them, and maybe everyone's doing their best. And yeah.
Just go watch a couple episodes of the Mother's Day specials on the Middle.
Yeah, your day will seem like
your day will seem amazing compared to what?
For sure.
Well, like I said before, I think you can get through Mother's Day if you kind of work together. And you know this about me. Same thing with Valentine's Day. I try and show I love you every day. So, and I appreciate you every day. I still have to overcome why do I need a special day to do it? I just do it every day. But we just need to make that day a little extra special for our moms and our spouses.
That's right.
Okay, our limiting moment of the week is a joyous one. We have 2 new potential daughter-in-laws.
Potential?
Well, they're going to be.
We have 2 up-and-coming daughter-in-laws.
There you go.
Does that sound any
I don't
better?
know.
No, we've had two of our kids get engaged.
Just the last couple weeks.
Yes, the last couple weeks. So that is just straight lemonade because we love both daughter-in-laws that we are getting into our family are wonderful, and we're very excited. So what's the lemons?
There are no lemons. Well, there's just lemonade this time. And because we also took family pictures and we included those 2 girls in our family pictures, so I don't have to pay for family pictures again.
We don't have to Photoshop them out. They can stay.
This is great. They're going to be in the Christmas card this year. It's wonderful.
It's so exciting. Congrats to our 2 boys. If you like today's episode,
give us 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, Google.
And head to Facebook and like us.
And check out our blog at where'sthelemonade.org.
where you can leave questions and comments.
But most of all,
Go out and make some lemonade.
you betcha, baby.